You don't have to make new content every day.
You don't. And that's the thing. That's actually how I ended up blowing up. Boys Do Cry is the video that went super viral, and that's how people started like discovering who I am. It went to 4 million on TikTok and then 6 million on Instagram.
Hey, I'm your host, Kosh, and this is the Creative Breakthrough Podcast. This podcast was created to eliminate the starving artist and give creatives the codes to build audiences, cash flow, and make a living doing what they love. On today's episode, I got an incredible rapper, an incredible musician, an incredible creator overall, Piff Marti.
Hey, what's going on, Kosh? Thanks. That was a beautiful intro. I appreciate it. And it's dope. I'm going to say something about your hair right now. It's looking very like marvelous.
It's looking luxurious, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just Jergens, bro. It's not anything that deep.
I use Jergens for different reasons.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I feel you.
The people in the comments got that joke.
Yeah, bro. He said 5 fingers. All right, bet. So for the people who are unfamiliar with you, how would you describe what you do in one sentence?
I'm a creative entrepreneur who makes creative pieces that speaks to the thoughts and feelings of the people that consume them.
That's so fun. You've been practicing that? You wrote that down?
Yeah, I mixed 3 of my elevator pitches together and put it in
that's
one.
lit.
Yeah.
That's lit. That's something we need to talk about too, is elevator pitches, because rappers don't have them.
Straight up.
Artists don't have them.
Don't have them.
How would you describe yourself if you had to in one word?
Innovator, I would
agree.
say. I would say that. Non-traditionalist, I would say that. There's like several adjectives I can use, but those are the ones that come to mind at first.
Word. Would you say futurist too?
I'll say futurist as well too. Now, and my upcoming content is gonna definitely showcase that. It's gonna be great examples of being a futurist or a surrealist, all sorts of things of that nature. Just because I'm weird, and I think everybody is weird.
Yeah.
And some people choose to suppress it. I just choose not to.
I think it pays not to. Like, it actually pays not to.
Literally, everybody that we love, everybody that we fell in love with were either the first ones to do it, whatever they're doing, or they were. They just brought new blood to it.
Speaking of like that, I want to understand, like, when do you think you had your first creative breakthrough?
My first creative breakthrough, that happened when I was like, 10 years old. You know what I mean? When I first started rapping, when I first started creating songs. So my dance teacher, Miss Velez, she asked us to make a poem for the rest of the class. I don't know why. It's a dance class. I don't know. We're writing poems, but whatever. So me being a little extra, I wrote a rap. It was the first rap I've ever written, and I performed it for the class. And before, I was only thinking about acting because I really wanted to be an actor. Still do, but like in a different way now. But I wrote my first rap. I performed it for the class, and they went crazy. And I'm like, whoa. So literally speaking, it's my first creative breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? It is the emphasis of what I'm doing right now.
Facts. And I told you this the other day when I texted you. I said, you have a talent at capturing people's attention. And that story shows that. And I don't think enough artists, because you don't have to be the most talented artist to be skilled at capturing attention. At all.
And this is not to shit on anybody, because everybody has an audience, but like a lot of the rappers that we consider trash are the most successful because they mastered marketing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the most talented artists just want to create. They just want to just make art and give it to the world. But in a case of the music business or the streaming business or the content business, you have to understand marketing, or at least have one of the homies understand marketing so that you can show it off, show this amazing talent that you have to your people. I mean, a lot of insecurity comes in too, because a lot of artists don't want to show their face or be outward. They're a little more insular, but it's so necessary to find success in what this business is and what it's becoming. And I realized that 3 years ago, and I just focused on that and like really learned how to market my music.
Yeah, so speaking of knowing how to market your music, because I know recently you said you took a break from everything because you felt like you were burnt out. So what did that look like? What was that grind on a consistent basis, like day by day?
A lot of my creative process, it involved writing the music and also thinking of the video attached to it, just because at this point, there's no song without a visual to it at this point. I don't think I have any song of mine that I came out with recently that doesn't have a video. So that's what that involved with. And it's only me doing it. So it got to a point where I stopped having fun outside of what I do You know what I mean? I stopped playing basketball. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I stopped watching TV. I stopped playing the game. I sold my PlayStation to get back into being focused. So I eliminated so many different things. But by doing that, I ended up not living and like feeding my inner child, feeding my soul. And because of that, I ended up burning out.
And in that process of doing that, you talked about thinking of the video while you write the song, which already is like a genius way of thinking for marketing. What did that look like on a day in and day out basis? Was that like 12 hours a day, I'm going to work and then I'm doing this?
No, so luckily for me, it usually takes 3 hours of work to come up with a concept, at least the first verse, and do the video. I'll say 4 hours in total. I'm not saying consecutive hours, because sometimes I do 30 minutes of work right there and then 30 minutes. So, but it's not a lot of like actual lifting that goes on into making what I do, which is why I was able to like present so much of it. But yeah, just like writing a song, like for an hour, recording it for 30. That's a lot. I would record it for a lot longer just because I want to get the verses. But yeah, I would say in total like 6 hours. Not straight either.
But is that 6 hours every day that you're spending?
No,
okay.
It was, and that's how I got burnt out. The first time I tried to do it, I burnt out. The second time I tried to do it, I burnt out. So I learned to just not do that and live as Shaquille. That's my real name. Like I like being Shaquille as well as Piff at the same time. And there was a point every time I tried to be only Piff, it was like, no.
Yeah. No, I'm with you because I make this point about like creative burnout, and one of the pieces of that is just not living life.
Straight up.
It's just being isolated and like just locked in. And there's a season for that. There's an interview Jay-Z was saying, I think it was that interview he just did with Kevin Hart, and he said, I didn't take a vacation for 8 years. And that probably helped him propel to where he is, right?
Yeah.
So it's just knowing what that season is and knowing when it isn't. And I think you did that perfectly.
But a key thing to that, though, is understanding that he lived a life for 16, 17 years before he started like writing rap. So he had a lot of experience to pull from. But when you do it for 8 years straight, dropping an album every year, you're like, damn, what is my life outside of my job? Breaks are hella important. And I still have to continuously remind myself of that because I like what I do. It's so important.
It's essential. I like to have non-negotiables in my life. So
what are those?
One of them is like sleep. So it's, if I gotta start getting up every day at 5:30 in the morning, because this is how I gotta set up my routine to get more done, then I gotta start going to bed by 9:30. About 9:30.
Straight up. I could spend like 45 minutes talking about sleep alone. Now, I know there's this book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. So it's just, he's a sleep specialist, right? There hasn't been many studies on sleep until the 1980s, the mid 1980s. So sleep study and sleep psychology is very new. But his book details every single reason why we sleep, how sleep affects us, how losing an hour of sleep just affects our cognitively, what's the word? Our immune system, how just losing 1 hour would affect us. And like, that's another thing I didn't even take account of too. I wasn't sleeping well while I was going so hard. I would sleep 5 or 6 hours a day, which a lot of people think, oh, I can function, but you really not functioning. Just you feeling this way that you forgot how going through a week with 8 hours of sleep felt. So sleep is so important when it comes to that. I'll cut you off.
The things about sleep, though, the reason why it's so important is not sleeping enough is the cause of early death syndrome. So that's exactly what it sounds like. I don't need to dive into that. And then the other piece is that, like you said, the immune system, but it controls your blood sugar. So if you don't sleep enough, you will have wild blood sugar spikes when you eat food because you didn't sleep enough. And it also controls your neurotransmitters. So everybody's probably, what the fuck is this white man talking about? But neurotransmitters are just like the connections in your brain that signal like how you think and how you focus and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't sleep more than probably 6 hours a night, you're going to be fucked up, so to speak.
It's actually 7. A lot of people think 6 is okay. And then there's a small percentage of people where 6 hours or even 5 hours is okay. But it's really between 7 and 8. No more, no less, too. Because if you go more, you're entering another sleep cycle, and then you 100%. Have to start all over again, too. If you have no idea what we're talking about, just at least go on YouTube and search Why We Sleep, Matthew Walker. And there's a TED Talk where he's talking about it for 15 minutes and then like tap into his book too. Lack of sleep is the leading cause to literally, I would say 90% of our daily problems.
It's absolutely real. And also blood sugar is the other piece to that. So you got to sleep and you got to maintain your blood sugar. So those are my non-negotiables. Like, I don't eat a lot of carbs. I mainly just eat carbs in the morning when I get up.
Good for you. I'm still trying to figure that out.
No, but that's how you do it. That's how this is turning into a health podcast, but that's how you do it though. So I don't know if he talks about this in the book, but when you sleep, it's like a battery being recharged, right? So like you have something called cortisol, and it's stored in your adrenal glands in your back. And this is what controls your energy throughout the day. And it spikes in the morning and it dips as you go throughout your day. So by the end of the day, your battery is almost depleted, right? You go to sleep, you fill your battery back up. But then what happens is when your battery's filled back up, your body actually has an easier time to digest carbs and not get wild blood sugar spikes or like feeling spacey. When I say blood sugar spikes, I mean like when you feel like a kid and you're just like jumping around and losing your mind for no reason. Or when you just are like all over the place, like your mood's all over the place, your energy's all over the place. So that's why I do it in the morning. So then it's the highest in the morning, so it's easier for me to digest it. And then from there, we just fucking eat protein, vegetables, and fat for the rest of the day. And I see just by doing that, how much more focus. Every time I don't do that, like every time I'm like, yeah, I'll just have this cookie right now. Then my mind's, oh, you thought, bitch. And then I'm trying to work on some shit. And I can't get it done. Like I can't focus or something.
So you're seeing the correlation between you eating like simple sugars and not simple sugars.
No, it is. Yeah, it's simple. Anything other than like sweet potato and like plantain is basically simple.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'm gonna do more research on like the cortisol and the adrenal gland. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but this is a accumulation of my life. But let's get back to you.
This is great though.
Thank you. So I want to just jump back a second to capturing attention, because I think this is super important. I think being able to capture and scale attention and grow it is like one of the keys to being super wealthy and super successful. And I don't think people really understand that. So for you, I want you to share maybe some practical knowledge on what you tested as you were growing your song, as you were growing your brands, to give people some insight on what maybe they could try that would help them.
I can say what didn't work first, and then now like going into how I started figuring out what worked. At first, I was doing the traditional drop a project, shoot 3 music videos, and then hope that you become Drake. That doesn't work, you know what I mean? And I was trying to figure out why isn't that working? It literally worked for everybody else that I love. But the reason why was because we were transitioning into short form content right before our eyes. This was like right after Vine got canceled, but people still was itching for that short form video content. And I didn't realize that until 2020. And then I just took my iPhone and I just started like making like these fast paced music videos. And like certain things that I like tweaked was not letting the intro go. No intro whenever I post a promo or anything, just go straight into the verse. Or doing something that's both visually and orally stimulating at the same time to capture attention. I see a lot more people talking about you got to grab people's attention within the first 1 or 2 seconds, but they don't really explain how you can like do it in your way without feeling like you doing a gimmick or anything like that too. The first thing I tested was like, how do I get people to stop scrolling on the phone to even watch the video, not even watch the whole video, but just at least stop and watch it. And then that was one of those things. So like what's the song of mine? Let's say New Crib, right? The perfect example is me. You see this guy in a robe, and he turns around, and then there's a upbeat song playing, and I'm minimalizing it, of course.
But that's like what you would see.
Simple science.
Yeah, that's if you didn't know you, then you would look at it and you'd be like, here's a guy on the road and here's this upbeat song.
Things like that. And then subtitles too. Subtitles was the thing that took me over the hump, to be honest, because these videos that you've seen, some of them are from 2020. A lot of people discovered them in either late 2021 or early 2022. But these videos are from 2020, and I was just tweaking different formats. So at first it was at the horizontal format because IGTV was the wave. And I know Instagram was pushing IGTV at the time, so I made it like landscape mode. And then I saw TikTok growing more and more, so I just changed it to vertical, but I still didn't see the type of growth that I thought I would see. And then I just put subtitles on it, and then things just changed.
I like to say Weezy out of here. But I want to talk to you about that more because you said something that you didn't really dive deep on, which is you repurpose the same content. And I don't think enough people realize that. You said a lot of my content is from 2020, but you don't have to make new content every day.
You don't. And that's the thing. That's actually how I ended up blowing up. So if people don't know, Boys Do Cry is the video that went super viral, and that's how people started like discovering who I am. But that was the 4th time I posted that video. You know what I'm saying? That was the 4th time I posted it and then, you know what I'm saying? The first time I posted it, it was like 5,000 views or so. The second time I posted it to TikTok, and it was like 90,000. Then the third time I posted it on TikTok, it was like 20,000. And then I sauced it up with the subtitles and vertical, and then it went to 4 million on TikTok and then 6 million on Instagram. And I say that to say, if you truly believe in what your work is, if you truly believe that your content is good or your work is good or whatever you created is good, keep posting that shit. It probably wasn't its day on the algorithm that first time you posted it, but maybe the 5th time or 6th time that you posted it goes. I think LaRussell was a great example of that too. LaRussell, a lot of his posts, a lot of people don't know or notice, a lot of his posts are also reposts from last year too. Don't get me wrong, he has 2,000 pieces of content. Like, he's a machine. His team is a machine. But sometimes there was a video, like for example, he had a video where he's getting a haircut, and I hit him up, yo, this is about to go viral, and it didn't go viral. But then he posted it a month later, and then it went crazy. If you know how dope your video is, or your work or whatever you do it again. Just keep doing it again until it does. Yeah,
no, that's great advice, man. I love that so much. And also, if you're not taking advantage of this right now as an artist, you need to be doing YouTube Shorts. It's TikTok in 2018.
Yup, exactly.
So I've already done this with my girl. My girl is an incredible artist. So it's all covers right now, but bro, she got 60 subscribers in 2 weeks on YouTube Shorts already, and all she's doing is shorts. And all she's singing is covers. So I'm sharing that piece because you don't have to reinvent the wheel a lot of times. And the same thing for you. It was like, yo, I'm about to just drop this motherfucker one more time. You know what I'm saying? And then and then they were like, oh, you did. And then it was 4 million and 6 million.
Yeah.
And that was a big reason, a big piece that catapulted you. I want to transition a little bit to when I first discovered you, which I think was 2020. And I'm not sure. I think maybe it was 2021.
Like I knew you for a while.
Yeah, so I think it was 2020, and it was your Sims video.
Oh, it's 2021 now.
Okay, cool.
Early 2021.
So the Sims video caught me. Somebody that I know shared that on their story, and this is the power of shares.
Shout out to that person.
They shared it on their story, and I watched it. I watched the quick clip, and I clicked through, and I was like, this dude is a fucking genius. I literally was just like, you know how we used to flip pages? Now we just go like this.
Just like that, yeah.
I was just doing that, and I was looking at all your shit. But at that time, I think you only had maybe, how many followers do you have on Instagram?
I have 129 on Instagram. At that, I can tell you exactly.
You had like 9,000, I think.
Not even, I had 7,000.
Yeah. But TikTok was already going stupid.
Yeah. But on TikTok, I had, and this is, all right, it is a lot. I have 100,000.
You have 1 million now on TikTok?
No, like 420,000 followers.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so just round it up. Yeah, so I saw that video, and what stuck out to me about that video was how you applied the music to The Sims. It was like, in music, they would call it like a double entendre or a triple entendre. Like, it was like multiple pieces that align to make it a great piece of content. And that's what I started to see throughout your content. And what I mean by that, because I really be like studying content. Like, my reference game is probably like my superpower. But what I mean by that is when you did that video, the music and even like the visual of being a Sims character, and even the motion of you, and even the cadence of how you rapped, and even the music, the production of the music, it all meshed to be that. And I don't know if that was intentional.
Not.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, this is new to me too.
But you might have, but see, the thing is, I think there's certain people that you just have taste, like intuitively. And so you probably do things subconsciously without even understanding at this point, because you've done it for so long. But yeah, that was just a quick thing about capturing attention. I feel like we keep just like going off in places about.
You were trying to make a point about shares though.
Shares is just another piece about you capturing attention. What I want to say to artists is that if you feel like, Piff, do you feel like you're the most talented artist in the world?
No.
Okay, so that's coming from the man himself. If you don't feel like he's the most talented artist, or you don't feel like you're the most talented artist, know that it's possible for you, because you can put the content out. And you can do it in a creative way that feels like you, but you have to continue trying. You can't just give up after 10 pieces of content, 20 pieces of content.
Literally don't give up at all. Because sometimes it takes your 60th video, your 200th video, your 1000th video, but then it happens. For me, it took my 16th. for what's happening now. It might now I'm on like 32 or something and I'm waiting for another bubble. But it's like it's a grind, and it's very imperative for you to really enjoy what you're doing. I think that's what my superpower is. I actually like making content. A lot of artists don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't, get somebody that does. It's the most important part for the business side of being an artist.
Yeah.
It is the most important part. And if you just want to create, you just want to make music, just make music. And don't complain about people not hearing it.
No, big fact. And then also the other thing that I've learned that you do really well is you pick music that hooks people in with the beat or the instrumental as well. It's not just, yo, I have amazing bars, I have amazing analogies, I have amazing cadence. It's you got to catch people on the track too. Think of the tracks that have done the greatest in history and think about how they start. And so that in itself is a hook. Like, yes, Piff was the dude in the middle of the street dancing, but he also had that instrumental and that beat that caught you when you did stop to watch what that dude was in the middle of the street dancing.
Straight up. And that is the most important part of what I do. Like I take every part of it seriously, from the cinematography to the editing to what I'm saying in the video. But the beat is literally the most important part to me. It's the priority to me, because at the end of the day, there was a time where music didn't even have words. It was just about the music it's just about the music. And that still holds true today, which is why there's so many songs who a lot of people say don't have substance, but they're topping the charts and they're played everywhere just because it's tapping into that part of your brain that just makes you feel good or makes you feel something. It sets the tone, it sets the vibe. So I thought I just studied like every artist that I love, like Kanye or Kendrick or Drake, and I'm like, what is making me like this shit? And it's always the beats. It always starts with that. So I just put a heavy emphasis on beat selection because I can't make beats, so I need to make sure what I'm choosing to beat, I'm like, I can listen to this without words for 10 hours. And that's every single beat that I've made a song to. I listen to it for a day before I even put words to it. And if I can do that, then I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great point. And that's what I wanted to transition into, is like picking music like that and creating music like that, is because in this day and age, you have to make songs that people want to listen to over and over. You have to. And that's
always been like that though.
Yeah, but I think now because of streams. So if you want to actually make money off streams, then people have to want to listen to you over and over. And yeah, man, and you've done that. You've excelled at that. So we talked about all the success, right? So let's talk about, what did you fail as you built this? Like, where did you fail?
There's two things that come to mind. I failed. You're a great interview. You ask really good questions, by the way.
I take this shit seriously, but I've done this a lot. Like, I did this for a long time.
And you picked up on it, I could tell.
Yeah.
What I'll say, the first thing that I failed at was trying to do it by myself. And it's like a pride thing. So I was like, what is going to be my story? How do I set myself apart from everybody else? And my thing was, hey, I'm doing everything. I saw Russ brag about it, so I'm like, shit, you know what I'm saying? This is cool. So I did that, but at the same time, I blocked opportunities for people to amplify what I'm already doing. I blocked the chance for people to give me some real solid game, some real like help. And I don't know what I don't know. And I didn't try to find out what I don't know. I was like, hey, I got a system. It's working. You know what I mean? Let me keep doing it. But when it comes to scaling any kind of business, not even just music, you need more people. You need different minds. Even if they're not like-minded, just get some perspective. And I didn't do that for the first year. Well, I saw some success with it, but I think I could have saw even more if I let more people in. That's one. Yeah. And two, I would say when it came to the business side of it, and I think I'm pretty okay with the business side of it. I do hold myself at a high standard. I'm like, 10 out of 10 is Jay-Z, and I think I'm at like a 4. You know what I'm saying?
It's progress. Yeah.
So I think I disregarded a lot when it comes to the business side of it, as far as getting my music on PROs like BMI or ASCAP, or not taking advantage of sync licensing opportunities. I would have made a lot more money from the get-go if I paid attention to syncs as I do now, or just like crunching numbers. Now I do it, but like at first I was like, I know this. I could just do this in my head, but now I write it down.
No, that's really good, bro. Because at this point in the game, unless you can find a bunch of people who really fuck with you and want to do all the stuff you don't want to do, you're going to have to do it. So you might as well just learn. You might as well just learn the complementary skills. That's what I always tell people. Learn complementary skills that will help you not get played. That's really what this is about.
Yeah. It's about not getting played. I think actually, now that you said that is my third failure, right? And I learned this, I think in late 2021. Before, I didn't really have boundaries in regards to just who I let around me or anything like that. I would let somebody who I don't know just hit me up and just have so much access to me and take up so much time just because I'm lit now. Everybody want to talk to me. Let me just talk to everybody. And then I'm just losing time, just losing so much time. So I failed, not in a big way, but I failed as far as like boundary setting and just like staying true to what I'm trying to do or sticking the course. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing that, because I asked that question because there's so many people who are not even at your level. They're not even at my level. But it's I just want to share, when I say we're sharing the codes, that's the point of doing this.
It's real, like the real part of it.
Because I believe that when you have more truthful information, you can make better decisions. And so you spoke about this a little bit, but I want to understand this deeper. What are 3 strategies or systems that you used to break through the noise with your content?
I think the first one that comes to mind is individuality, not trying to be anybody else but myself. And that's what everybody says. Everybody says, be yourself, be true to you. But subconsciously, a lot of people don't try to be themselves. They try to like at least throw a trendy thing inside of their content or whatever they do. And they wonder why it doesn't work, because subconsciously people are like, yo, I've seen this before. This is not new to me. Good for you, but I'm gonna keep scrolling. So one of the main things that I put an emphasis on was being my true self, not chasing a hit, not chasing what's hot, just like being Shaquille, straight up. Yeah. And I think that's a system. I'm gonna count that as a system. Second system would be treating it like a business. All right, like mindset wise, understanding that I am a business owner. I am an entrepreneur, creative entrepreneur, and I have to treat this as such. My music, at the end of the day, is a product. Although it is art, I am commodifying it and I am giving it to people in exchange for monetary value. When thinking about that, I have to take into account that there's certain things that I can't avoid that doesn't have anything to do with creative. When it comes to marketing, and I think that is my strongest suit, I have to put a heavy emphasis on it, because what is the point of trying to get people to hear my music if I'm not doing things to get them to listen to it or discover it? You know what I mean? So I never put out a song without a video, just because everything is visual content now. So I never put out a song with just like the thumbnail without people hearing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all over the place.
This is good. Keep going. Yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate the moral support.
Yeah, you're doing great. This is what people need to hear so they can get, because mindset, both of those things you just talked about are about mindset.
Yeah, I think my strength is mindset. It's not music. I'm good at it, but my strength comes from the mindset part of it. I think 95% of anything is mindset. And I'm a huge basketball fan, and all basketball players are saying that. So I just attribute that to what I'm doing now. But yeah, I understand that like visuals are how people listen to music. That's why there's no song of mine without a visual. And the third...
You say you write stuff down now, so if you want to talk about that.
Oh, so I guess when an idea comes to me, I write it down. Or if I have to schedule something, as far as if I have an interview with Kosh, I write that down and set a reminder at 6:55 so I could get on it. I can't get too deep into what I write down, but it usually has to do with ideas or strategies that I saw on TikTok or I saw on Twitter, and then implementing that. Oh, here's my third. I steal. And when I say steal, I don't mean swagger jacking or whatever people consider biting. You know what I mean? I don't mean biting or anything like that. I quote unquote steal like an artist. So if I see something from another creative or another piece of content that I like, I take that piece and implement it into what I do. It is literally how everybody works. I know there's certain things that you learn from somebody that you put in your stuff too. I do that as well too.
Yeah,
So
facts.
like for example, subtitles. I took that from Toby Nwigwe. I saw them doing it. I'm like, bet, I'm gonna do that. So in the zoom in effect, I saw a lot of TikTok comedians do that zoom in effect, the Ken Burns effect, or Solange. Solange do that a lot in her videos too. I'm like, that's dope. I'm gonna put that in. And when I combine those two, and then other things that I've picked up from different artists like Kanye or Kendrick, I put that together. It becomes my own style too. Like I'm always learning. I'm always trying to add something new that makes me more unique. And that's ironic. It makes me more unique the more that I actually execute on my inspirations.
Yeah, no, that's incredible, because here's why this works, because people like familiarity. And as long as you're not copying something, because originally you said being original about who you are, and you are being original. Mm-hmm. The perfect example that I like to use for this is Travis Scott. So when I think about Travis Scott, I think about Kid Cudi, Kanye West, the Migos, and Future. And Travis Scott is a combination of all of those artists. And so you bring something new to the marketplace by looking at what's already been done by the best people and then putting your own spin on it. You snapped, bro. That's all that needs to be said about that. Even though you thought you were rambling, you hit it out of the park right at the end.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna do a backflip real quick.
Actually, yo, that would be fire if you did it on live. Like you just did a backflip right now. I want to know, how do you make money doing what you love?
Great question. I immediately from the start said, I am not going to focus on making money from streaming. That is going to be like the pocket change. And I saw that from jump. Reason why is because I think of the richest artists or the richest people in the game. The most of their money come from either brand partnerships, venture capital, product, and things like that. Music is the vehicle that I'm using to get to those points. But you know what I'm saying? So I do make money from streaming. Like I do stream pretty well and I do get the bread from that too. But the bulk of the money that I make is from brand partnerships. So at this point, I had like maybe 13 brand partnerships. That was very low key too. A lot of people didn't notice that there was like brand activation. So I worked with Meta, I worked with Genius, I worked with Microsoft, I worked with Afropunk, I worked with TikTok, like, and so on and so forth.
Just keep going, bro. Just keep going.
I'm trying to remember who else. Like I worked with mad people, mad companies, right? And it's another reason why I even started doing content the way that I'm doing it, because I've noticed that content creators are touching bags just from being influencers or things like that. Artists are influencers too. I saw a bunch of content creators touching bags, and just because they have like engagement, I'm like, all right, cool. I can merge these two and still be able to do what I'm doing. So brand partnerships. In the future, I'm going to add product placement too. And that's it's not so secret. It don't have to be secret about it. Product placement. I get a lot of views on my videos. So if you want your product in these videos, why do I have to wait till my videos on Vivo to have a Beats headphone? I don't have to have, I can put that in a TikTok video. And not a lot of people are doing it. And not a lot of people are thinking about that. Another way that I make money, and this is specific to me, you can if you're an artist in here, you have to think of ways that you can do it, but I teach. I help artists do exactly what I'm doing via one-on-one consultation. In the long run, I'm going to put out a course too. You know what I'm saying? Just teaching that, or write a book or things like that. I'm spilling the sauce, whatever.
That's what this is for.
But yeah, I'm going to be, and that's how I do one-on-one consultations for artists. And if you want one, go to piffmarti.com and I'll tell you literally every single thing that I do and everything that I've learned as I've been growing. And I don't only do it for the money. I also do it because I like giving game. And I wish there was somebody who was at my stage now when I was coming up that can just help me not make so many mistakes. There was so much trial and error to get to the point where I'm at right now and where I'm going. I love being able to help people not make those same mistakes in an ever-changing, not even just music business, but streaming business and content business. It changes so much. So I'll just give people a head start. But that's how I make bread.
Thank you.
Oh, and making content for other brands too, like outsourcing like my content skills to other artists.
As you should. No, so you named like maybe 4 different streams of revenue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Also, you mentioned making mistakes. One mistake that I want to give to artists that you don't have to make immediately, and they're not paying me to do this, I just discovered this, is it's called Song Secure. And it's done through blockchain technology. So like crypto technology, if you don't know what that is, It's like mathematical algorithms that nobody can fake, basically. And you can take your song and put it on their platform, and it will be like a copyright without having to go to the copyright office. Don't make the mistake of not copywriting your music. So if you don't want to go through the process of going to the government and doing the whole thing, it's $10 a month, song secure. All you got to do is just upload your song and upload the lyrics, and then they give you verification that you created it at this time. So if anybody tries to play you,
that's fire.
Yeah,
and it's on the blockchain.
Yeah,
that's fire.
but it's not like you don't have to have a wallet and all that. It's like super simple. You can just go sign up.
So I'm gonna do that with like my future stuff because I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and I'm into Web3, like in a, I'll say in a 5 out of 10 type of way too, because that's another way that I made money too. I did sell like my videos as NFTs as well. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's new. It's really
fire.
new. It's really new, and you actually can send your song through their platform, and people can play it. And there's a player for it too if you want to send your music that way, just so that everything is verified.
Wow.
Yeah, so everything's there for you to not get your shit stolen. You just got to go out and do it real quick. And then eventually go and get your copyright with the US government too.
Yeah.
But you technically don't even have to copyright anything because your music is already copyrighted when you make it. But the reason you copyright things is so that you can prove you made it at this time before someone else pretends to take it from you.
That is sauce.
So yeah, I just learned about this and I used
that's really
it.
good.
So do we have questions? Somebody asked earlier, what is your process for recording and creating music?
Good question. I mean, everybody's process is different, but I'll tell you mine. I just go into my closet because that's where I record. I listen to the beat that I already found, whether it was on YouTube or, well, I don't really find beats on YouTube no more. Now people send it to me. But when I'll just, wherever I get the beat, I'll listen to it. And then I'll literally just mumble the flow. Because that's like the second most important part. If you were here earlier, I said that the beat is the most important part to me. The second most important part is the flow. So I'll mumble the flow, see what sounds right, and then I'll add words to it as I go on with the recording of the song. And that's really my process. And then I'll have the topic too. That's what I think about.
No, I think that's really good. I see a lot of artists operate that way. It gives you like the melody to go off, and then you can just piece the words in.
Yeah.
Whether you write them or you don't. How much does Piff charge for a consultation?
So the consultations right now, they're going for $150 for an hour, but within that hour, I am giving you, if you felt like I gave you sauce in this interview, there's like maybe 10 times as much in those calls too. And a lot of people are left feeling like they went to college.
Yeah, and 150 is a steal, so don't wait before the price goes up. Because I remember when the price was $75.
When it was 75, right?
Yeah. Okay, we got some more questions. We got...
Any advice for how to assess a strength as a multi-talented artist? I would say, so here's a mistake. I'll tell you what a mistake that a lot of people make, and even I made this mistake too. I chose what would make the most money more instead of what I actually really like doing. So I would say an advice I can give to you is do what you like doing the most out of all the things that you do, because at the end of the day, you would love to be able to have fun doing what you're doing instead of just doing it because there's a bag attached to it. And I do suggest mastering one of those things and using that thing that you love doing the most as the vehicle to give you opportunities to do those other things. So for example, for me, music is my vehicle to venture capital or to acting or film production and things like that. Music is the way that I get myself into rooms where I can meet said people and do these things. So whichever you like doing the most, do that, and then use that as the vehicle to get those other things.
Yeah, and the bag gets boring.
The bag gets boring.
Somebody said, how do you discover what topic to go with?
I read the comments. If you're not familiar with me, a lot of my videos, a lot of the songs come from the comments that I left in my comment section, whether it's about colorism or I have so many songs, but it's either from my comment section or from conversations I have with people. I learned that from Gary Vee actually, and that's kind of like what another thing that helped catapult my career. He said, in using this business mindset again, listen to your audience, read the comments. They're telling you exactly what you should do next, and so do it. And I took that literally.
Well, you should take it literally because that's the answer.
Yeah, straight up.
He also said post YouTube shorts, and that worked too. How much does Piff cost for a feature?
So when it comes to features, there's no like set price because it really depends on me wanting to do it. Like have I featured on anybody's song?
100,000. That's the price.
That's the price. 100 million. Straight up.
100 million in Bitcoin. Okay.
But yeah, I just gotta like the song and then I'll do it. But I just don't have time to do features right now.
That's when you know you're in high demand, like Future said.
And one more thing. I would say too, if you have money to spend on something, don't spend it on a feature. Unless it's like a Drake feature or somebody who has that stimulus package. I wish you had like bombs, like the soundboard. Yo, don't spend money on a feature because if you have 2 bands or 3 bands laying around, you can use that towards ads. You can use that toward buying new equipment and things like that that can actually help you get visibility. A feature doesn't have that same weight that it used to have. A lot of people think it's the feature. It's actually the marketing behind the feature that makes this do what it does. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 150,000%.
100,000% million in Bitcoin.
Okay. Book recommendations.
Oh, yeah. So I'll say 3. The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's what I consider my Bible. It helped me strip all the negative things that I learned throughout my life environmentally and implement these new values in my life, which are be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And when you do all 4 of those things and live your life, you'll see an immediate change. And that's what I did. Black Privilege by Charlamagne the God. The subtitle to that is Opportunity comes to those that create it. It's Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those that create it. It's a really good book. It just teaches you how to create opportunities for yourself when you have no connections in any industry, how to create those opportunities. And I'm an embodiment of that. And how to talk to anyone. I forgot the author, How to Talk to Anyone. That's my thing.
Fire. Great. Incredible. Why how to talk to anyone? Why?
Because, you're so good, bro. All right. So relationships are they're top 2 and they're not 2. And the only way to build relationships is by talking to people. And you have to know how to talk to people, how to be an active listener, how to not come off as a leech and as a networker. You know what I'm saying? And how to not be that, like be genuine. And that book taught me how to speak to people and make genuine relationships with people, even if they don't ever help me. Like I have a friend, you know what I'm saying? I have a friend that I can speak to and learn from and things like that too. So How to Talk to Anyone was a very important book that I read.
He's dropping them, y'all. He's on fire.
Kennedy Rion asked, if all music streaming platforms got completely swiped and you had the opportunity to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Why you gotta ask that question, bro?
I'll say the first thing that came up is probably gonna change, but it's Lighters Up by Lil' Kim. I really like that song, and I haven't gotten tired of that song since it came out. Or Unleash the Dragon by Cisco.
I'm looking at my top played on iTunes right now.
But that's right now, though.
No. This is forever.
Okay.
I don't know. Racks in the Middle.
Racks in the Middle?
I love Racks in the Middle. I just love everything about Racks in the Middle.
I think you said this publicly before.
It's newer, but it's just one of those songs, man. It's just, but then I'm really R&B more than anything. Mm-hmm. So I might have to say Bad Blood by Nayo.
She's a singer with she like has a high pitched type of voice. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I probably know the song. I don't know I can't recite it to you. I'll say Free Mind by Thames too.
Let's just do a basic one. How old are you?
29. I just turned 29 last month. What do you do when dealing with writer's block? I live life. Like I actually made a video about this. A lot of the times, the reason why we have writer's block or creative block is because we have life block. And dealing with your problems, that's actually the answer. Dealing with your problems is 100% of the time the way that I deal with writer's block, because I have writer's block because I'm thinking about so many different things that have nothing to do with my creative self that I get occupied with it, whether it's me having to have a hard conversation with somebody, me having to make a decision about like work or something like that, and I'm just not doing it. And that's literally how to deal with like mood problems and everything too. Sleep and like making decisions about things like helps with writer's block.
Love it. Amazing. Taking care of yourself, basically.
Would you be open to share something about your depression? Wow, that's actually a good question. I would say that it presented itself in a unique way, like where I just didn't feel like doing anything. I wasn't necessarily sad or like in a mood or anything like that. I just didn't feel like doing anything. I was just apathetic about everything. And this happens, I get into like small bouts of depression now. It's never a big thing anymore as it used to be. But when it comes, it usually just presents itself as apathy and I'll get to it later. Or
lack of desire.
Yeah, lack of desire. That's how it presents itself.
Yeah, same.
But it's rarely ever like sadness. So if you do, anybody in this chat actually feels that sometimes, it could be depression. It presents differently than what you were told depression looks like.
Yeah, and sometimes you just gotta let that shit run its course.
Yeah.
That's all you can do sometimes.
For real.
What's your favorite music era?
My favorite music era, I never have one, so there's only two. I have two. So it's the G-Unit / Dipset era. I'm a huge 50 Cent fan. 50 Cent is the reason why I started rapping. I wanted to be the first kid in G-Unit and also the first kid in Dipset. It was 50, Lloyd Banks, Joel Santana, and Cameron that just made me want to rap. That's my favorite. That's number one. The second one would be the 2009 through 2014 era where J. Cole and Drake and Kendrick started like really getting popping. And we just saw like a renaissance in hip hop that lasted for 5 years, 5 or 6 years. Nicki was a part of that too.
Great answer. I agree. I totally agree. The one where jorts and long white tees were a thing.
That's number 3. I'll put that number 3 because I was definitely in that doing snap dancing, walking it out and everything like that. Like,
everybody was doing that, bro.
In that dance class I mentioned earlier, that was like a thing that we did all the time.
Okay, let's see if we can get one more and then wrap this thing up.
Round of applause for Kaj, by the way, too, for conducting a great interview. How do you keep going without feeling defeated when things aren't clicking or working out? There's 3 parts to this answer. One, I have no choice because I've saw like some success with it. So I'm like, fuck, I can't quit no more. 2, and this touches on what I said earlier, I actually have a lot of fun doing this. You know what I mean? It's really fun to me. That's how I keep going. Even if I get a no or if I get a, yo, this is trash or I don't see it, which I rarely get. But it's, if I do get that, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm still having fun. I'm going to keep doing it. There are people that like it. And third, I really believe in my work. So even before I had a bunch of followers and a bunch of people knowing who I am in my music, I really believed in what I do. So if you have that actual belief in what you do and you know that it's good and it's just that the certain people that needs to see it hasn't seen it, that alone should keep you going. If you really just be real confident about it, not cocky or arrogant, you know what I'm saying? But like, this is some dope shit. Somebody gonna fuck with this. And
yeah, I would add to that and say you only need one yes.
Straight up, you only need one.
How long have you officially been rapping for?
Officially, I started rapping officially when I was 16. I'm 29 right now, so I'll say 13 years. However, 4 of those years I quit, so I'll say 9 years in total.
Crazy. I think they already know this, but tell them how they can connect with you.
On Instagram or TikTok, both read at Piff Marti, Piff Marti. I drop a lot of stuff. And it's not just music, it's also education. It's also creative wellness, just like Kosh, and just like real dope stuff. And just stay tuned because I'm scaling in a major way. So if you don't know who I am, it will be dope for you to see. If you know who I am, it'll be dope for you to see.
With that said, hey, I'm Kosh. I'm your host. I host this podcast called Creative Breakthrough every week with well-vetted creatives like Piff Marti to give you the codes to unlock audiences, cash flow, make a living doing what you love, and ultimately to eliminate the starving artist. So if you feel like that is something you're struggling with right now, any of those things, then you can follow me. Thank you, bro. I'll probably tap in with you through text later on, but I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, man. This is really dope. But shout out to everybody that joined. Stay dangerous.
Peace.
Bow.